Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Inner Harbor Cast, all part of your community connection. My name is Skip Clark, and of course, we got another exciting show for you this morning. We're going to be talking about something that's brand new. It's brand new to me, it's brand new to the community. I've got the young lady here who is the founder. Her name is Megan Oakes. And Megan, first of all, good morning. Thanks for joining us
Morning.
today.
Thank you for having me.
Team Code Green is what this is all about. You are the founder of that.
Yes.
What is it and how did it get started?
So Team Code Green Syracuse is a team of local first responders from AMR, Syracuse Police,
Mhm.
Onondaga County Sheriff's, Syracuse Fire. And we all band together for a cause to prevent suicide and bring awareness to mental health for first responders. We created this team to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Out of the Darkness walks.
Very nice. Now, why? Let me ask you, why is this mission so especially personal to firefighters, people like yourself, the EMTs, because you work for AMR, which is pretty cool. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Police, dispatchers, the correction officers, and others on the front lines. Why is this so special?
So this cause actually is very close to my heart. In 2017, I lost a close friend
Mm.
to suicide. He was not only a United States Army veteran who served in Iraq, he was also an Oswego County Sheriff's deputy. So when he passed away, I immediately noticed that there was such a stigma around the way that he passed. It was very quiet, very hush hush. And I even remember um, when they made the social media post for him from the sheriff's office, it was two sentences. There was no explanation. It was his end of watch and mourning the loss of.
And then there's something deeper.
Yes.
I've been a first responder and I've seen some of those I guess notes, letters, whatever on social media, and they're just to the point. And then you go, you know what? There's something more to this.
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
so since then, I'm like, what can I do? I know I am only one person,
Mhm.
but there needs to be some kind of change. So there's not another Ian. And so I learned about the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I learned that they have a local chapter right here in Central New
Yes,
York.
they do.
And I jumped in and I said, how can we get involved? And so Team Code Green was created in 2017. And I remember that fall is when I did my first Out of the Darkness walk after his passing.
Been there, done there. Wow. You know, when people hear the phrase first responder, they often think strength, bravery, toughness. What don't people always see behind the uniform? I know you wear a uniform every day when you go into work at AMR, but what's beyond that uniform?
I think a lot of people forget that at the end of the day, we're also humans too.
Mhm.
We also have families, and the stuff that we see every day, it has a lasting impact on us. It's stuff that sometimes we can't just leave at the door. It's stuff that we can't just shut off. It's stuff we bring home with us, and it is stuff we think about. And statistically speaking, 1 in 3 first responders will develop PTSD in their career.
Yeah. I've heard, obviously, I know that, but I think those of you that are watching this or listening to this on one of our 5 radio stations, it may be something new to you, and you need to realize that this is a real thing. There's a lot of emotions and there's a lot of
Absolutely.
personal attachment to all this. I mean, y'all work so hard. Was there a moment when this mission became bigger? It became bigger than just, say, participating in the walk?
For me, last October was my 14th Out of the Darkness walk, and I wanted to reach a goal. And it was
Mhm.
just a small goal for me. I wanted to raise at least $1,000 for the CNY chapter for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And at the time, I had just picked up a fun little hobby of line dancing locally. And so I had reached out to Dennis at Coleman's and was
Mhm.
like, hey, you have
Yeah.
this beautiful courtyard and this beautiful venue. Can we do a Coleman's Ghost Country night as a fundraiser? And he said, absolutely,
Oh,
let's do
great
it.
idea.
So this year, when they announced the location for the overnight Out of the Darkness walk, I was like, I've never done an overnight walk. Let me see what this is about and how I
Mhm,
can
mhm,
qualify.
mhm.
And so I have since qualified. So I will be going to Chicago to represent Team Code Green. And so I reached out to a few local friends and said, hey, I think we should do a few fundraisers. What do
Mhm,
you think?
mhm.
And they were in.
So you've been selected to represent first responders from this
Yes.
area in
Yes.
Chicago for the overnight walk.
Yep. I'm very excited
Now,
about
how
it.
did, yeah, I mean, you must be very excited. Are you going alone?
I'm going by myself.
No.
Little solo trip. I'm very excited. It's my first time to Chicago. So
It's the Windy City.
right? Honestly, I am so honored to be able to do that, especially for all of the first responders in New York. And I'm also I am so incredibly blessed. Ian's family reached out to me and we got talking about it. And again, have given me their blessing to walk in memory of him.
When is the walk in Chicago?
So I will be heading down the second week in June. The
Okay.
overnight walk is the 13th into the 14th. So there'll be a nice ceremony at 8 p.m. And by 8 a.m., the walk will be done. Nice little 16.2
You
miles.
used to work in like odd hours. You were
Oh,
telling me
yes.
before we went out with the cameras and the microphones that you go in at 3:00 in the morning.
I
So,
do.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And it's a tough hour though. It's a
It
tough
can
time
be,
of the night.
absolutely.
And if you're working in the city, there's all sorts of things going on. So,
Oh, yes.
And thank you again for what you do. So what did it mean to you when you first found out? They said, hey, Megan, you're going to go to Chicago.
When I found out that I qualified, it was actually at one of my fundraising events at Middle Ages Brewery.
Mhm.
Care from the CNY chapter came out and we were about halfway through and she goes, are you so excited? And I said, yes, I'm so glad we had 220 people come out to support this. And she goes, no, you're going to Chicago. You've qualified. And it was such a surreal moment for me.
How do you qualify?
So I put in for an individual instead of a team.
Okay.
And as an individual, you have to raise at least $1,000 to
Okay.
even qualify. And then after talking with her, she's like, I know that there's some people from CNY going down for the overnight walk, but I think we would like to have you represent all of the first responders.
Wow.
And so I was just I was speechless. I was very happy.
How long have you been doing what you do?
So my first walk for the CNY chapter was in 2017.
Okay.
And so I have done 14 walks since then.
Okay.
I am involved in my peer support team, and critical incident stress management. And so this is just something that I want to continue to do.
And how long have you been first responder, so to speak?
So I actually became an EMT before I was a high school graduate.
Nice.
So going on 11 years.
Good girl. And are you from the area?
I'm from Oswego County.
Okay.
So little
We
tiny
love
town,
Oswego.
Williamstown, New York.
No, exactly. I remember with the school closings, Altmar, Parish, Williamstown. They're always like the first one we would say back in the day.
Oh, yes. Altmar Elementary was my elementary before it came the Tailwater Lodge.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. It's a hotel, wedding venue. It's all
Oh,
that good
yes.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. But let's get back to what we're talking about here. You heading to Chicago, you're going to be doing the overnight walk. That's the symbolism is powerful. You're going to walk overnight. What goes through your mind when you're walking through the night for people who are struggling with those, that we've lost?
Honestly, just thinking about how I felt when I found out about Ian and about what was going through his head.
Mhm.
And how he must have felt so alone. And so now I get to walk alongside of thousands of people and we get to make this impact so no one else ever has to feel that way.
Is it emotional?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's got to be so hard. And I'm sure, just the memories of everything and why you're doing it. I mean, your emotions must be running high, but also your adrenaline has to be up there because you're doing a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a different city. You are in Chicago. You are representing first responders right here from Central New York, which is pretty cool. We're talking with Megan Oakes, who is the founder of Team Code Green right here in Syracuse, covering pretty much everywhere in Central New York. How does Team Code Green Syracuse work with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention right here at this chapter?
So we are a team that walks annually in their Out of the Darkness walk, which raises funds that stay locally right here in Central New York. We are currently working with the board to create a program specifically for first responders within their chapter.
Mhm. And why is it important to bring suicide prevention out into the open instead of keeping it hidden or uncomfortable to talk about?
I think it's very important. There's always been a stigma that surrounds suicide and even the word itself.
Mhm.
And so our goal is to bring more awareness and more resources for mental health for first responders, but also end that stigma, especially for first responder deaths by suicide.
And how does it work with somebody in your position? You're on the team that goes out and helps other first responders. If somebody's going through a crisis, which happens probably more than we can even imagine.
Mhm.
Been there. I've done that for like 20 years. I don't do it any longer, but I know you're actively involved now. Um, what is that like? How do you do that?
Um, Honestly, the first step of them reaching out and looking for that help shows so much strength and so much resilience from a
Mhm,
person
mhm, mhm.
that they can admit or speak up and say, "Hey, I am not doing well. This is what happened. Can I have help?"
I don't know. Do you listen to country radio?
I do.
Dan and Shay have a song called Say So, and it's about mental health awareness. And it's about a good friend of theirs who it happened.
Mhm.
And their whole point is if you know somebody's in crisis or you need help, say so. That's what that whole
Absolutely.
song is about.
We also nationally have changed. There used to be a 1-800 number that you could call if you were in crisis, and we have changed it. So it's a 3-digit number,
988.
988.
Yes, 988. Don't be afraid.
No.
Do it. There's people there on the other end that are going to talk to you and they're going to be your friend.
That
It's a
and
fact.
the crisis line is not just if you are actively in crisis. If you need resources,
Mhm.
they're there to listen. They're
It's
there to help
988.
you out.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say to someone who thinks, I'm not trained. I have no idea. I wouldn't know what to say to somebody who is struggling.
I would say that if someone is coming to you, my best advice is to listen. Active
Mhm.
listen. You may not understand what they're going through or what they're feeling, but having an ear to listen so they can get that off their shoulders is huge.
Mhm. And why do let me think about this. Why do first responders sometimes have a hard time asking for help?
I think it's because we're so used to being the helpers. We are the
Yeah.
ones that people call when they need help. So when we need help, we don't really know where to turn to.
Mhm.
And so that's why I created this team because we can be the people.
Mhm. 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 And do you think there is still a stigma in public safety around mental health?
Um, Absolutely there is. We have actively been trying to make a change, and I think it's just trying to break that culture that a lot of us were brought up in.
Mhm. Mhm. And maybe I'm asking some questions that are going a little bit deeper. I don't know. It may be kind of difficult to answer, but what can departments or agencies or leadership do better to support mental health, in your opinion?
In my opinion, having more resources that are more specific for us. We have employee wellness programs for therapy, for doctor's appointments, but having more resources for people, psychiatrists, counselors that are more trauma informed,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, and making therapy more normalized.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've been in EMS 11 years. I've seen things, and it should be normalized for everyone to go to therapy.
Should be. Absolutely. Suicide prevention can be a heavy topic as we're talking about, everything that's going on here. Team Code Green with Megan Oakes, the founder. Um, Suicide prevention can be a very heavy topic. We know that.
Absolutely.
And how do you balance the seriousness of the mission with hope and community?
How do I balance it? Honestly, it can be difficult at times, especially being at work and seeing people in crisis and then coming back and having to balance, your work life and your home life and doing things like this.
Mhm.
Um, but
Yeah. How do you, as Megan Oakes, can you look at somebody and go, okay, something's not right?
We have a little bit of a joke, my partner and I, but he says, "I feel like you have this sixth sense, your spidey sense." And I was like, "Sometimes I
Mhm.
can, but it just honestly, it just takes a few words." And we pass by each other at the station. Hey, how you doing? When
Right,
we're checking
right.
in at the
Yeah.
hospitals. Hi, how are you? In passing, um, and just sometimes how people react, their body language, you just kind of can tell, like, hey, that person's normally,
Yeah.
bubbly, upbeat, and they
Something's
answered
not
with
right.
one word sentences. Like
Yeah.
that's not them.
Well, we all have our bad days. I
Absolutely.
think yesterday at the work, I was like, yeah. I mean, that was about, yeah, everything was short, but I was actually fine. But still, what would you want somebody that's watching this or listening to this right now who may be struggling in silence to hear?
That it is absolutely okay to ask for help. Asking for help does not make you any lesser of a person, and it takes so much strength just to speak up about it.
Have you seen, Megan, have you seen people open up because of the walks, because of the awareness that you're making and you're giving,
Absolutely.
and people just kind of open up? Yeah.
Absolutely. October of last year, I had some coworkers join me at our event at Coleman's,
Hmm.
and we were talking about it. And one of my now best friends, she said, I was so nervous to come to an event like this because I know exactly how you feel. And I said, what do you mean by that? And come to find out, she lost her father to suicide.
Oh my gosh. Mm.
And so now she's part of this team that we have. And she's been such an incredible help with all of my events. So we're very excited for our upcoming event at
I love that.
Sharky's.
And you talk about family. You talk about your friend losing her dad. There's a lot of issues going on with families. And if you're in the family, how would you talk to a family member? Just basically the same way. Just say, hey, because I mean, we got brothers and sisters and moms and
Oh,
dads, and
yes.
we all have our
Um,
moments and all
it's
that. But
for
to
me,
bring it back down,
it's the same.
yeah,
A lot of people who work in the responder field will say, they have their home family and their work family, and sometimes they're all kind of intertwined. But again, just letting them know that it's okay
it's
to not be
okay.
okay.
But that's easy to say,
It is. It can be.
and it's easy for somebody to hear. But whether or not they act on that could be a whole different ballgame
Yep.
because they're like, no, that's not me. I'm fine.
They put off this shield, this wall. Sometimes you
You're
just
so
gotta.
blessed, Megan, for
I
doing this. You
I
really are.
truly am.
Yeah.
The amount of support that we've gotten has just been surreal.
And I want to talk about the support. Now, you have events coming up.
Yes.
I know just yesterday you had one at Sharky's, right? Is that
Nope, that's gonna be Saturday.
yesterday you had this event at Sharky's? Tell me about the event. I know it went really well, and fundraisers like that do you do more of those?
So our event at Sharky's was really a hit despite the weather. We had a line dancing Western Gala themed event, so everyone was able to dress up and
So
come
boots
out
on the ground.
boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And that kind of came with the work that we do as first responders. We're out there, we're on the front lines, we're making it happen. And so that was my final fundraising event before Chicago. And then after Chicago passes, we'll be doing more for our local chapter.
And I want you to keep us up on all that because we want to keep posting whatever is going on. If somebody wanted to help right now, they couldn't make the event yesterday, or they want to give, maybe help you with your trip to Chicago, or help the foundation, Team Code Green. How can they do that? Do you have a website, social media,
So
etc.?
if you go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention page
Hmm.
for their Out
Hmm.
of the Darkness walks, you can actually search my name or Team Code Green.
It's Megan Oaks,
Yes.
OAKS.
OAKES.
Yes. Sorry,
Yes.
forgot that.
And then it'll pop up. You can make a donation that way. If you want to make a donation to our employee wellness team, we are at AMR. We've been doing a lot of work.
So can they go to is there maybe a link on an AMR website? Or?
If you call AMR and ask to speak with Marley, she can get it all set up.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you can find the number right off
Oh, yes.
right off the web as well. What is Megan? Before I let you go, what is one thing you want Central New York to remember about first responder mental health?
That at the end of the day, we are on the front lines, and it can be hard to understand what we go through. But we're human just like you.
It's truth. It is. Megan Oaks. She's the founder of Team Code Green. Before we wrap it up, I just want to give you the floor. This is your moment to speak directly to Central New York first responders, the families, the friends, anyone who may be fighting a battle nobody sees. What do you want? What do you want them to know right now, today?
That it takes a lot of strength to speak up, but you are seen, you are heard, and we want to be there to help you through this.
Thank you. That is so powerful. So
Thank you.
powerful. Megan Oakes, again, being the founder of Team Code Green. It was new to me. She reached out, we texted, and we set this up, and just so excited. I, being a first responder in the past of my life, it just meant so much that you did that, and it's so very important that you get the message out. I know, but viewers or listeners may not know, but it's what you need to know, and not be
Absolutely.
afraid. Speak up. You need help, say so. That's all.
Absolutely. And we are also actively welcoming any of our first responder friends right here in Central New York. If you want to be a part of Team Code Green Syracuse, if you want to walk with us, the door is open. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Absolutely. Megan, thanks for getting up early. Thanks for coming in. Glad the event was a big success yesterday.
Thank you.
And we look forward to more, and just keep up. If you can give, I mean, I'm sure it's tax deductible. Do your thing. Yeah. Just thank you so much. You're so blessed. And thank you for doing what you're doing, being a first responder. It
Thank
takes a
you.
lot to do that nowadays.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's Megan Oakes, founder of Team Code Green.